Nah, I'm sorry, man. I hope it worked out. I hope you had a good shoot. And when you make commitments in life, you should go through with them. But the journey is the reward. You know, my cousin Joe was actually going to get that tattoo as a 23-year-old heterosexual man, and I said, Joe, not that one. Get something else. Bitches ain't shit.
There we go.
Go with that.
That was good advice.
No, could you imagine if he would have... These are my two options. Bitches ain't shit. The journey's the journey is the reward.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a fine line between the two.
But my cousin Joe moved out to San Diego when we were 23. He just graduated college. We had a cousin out there. He moved out there. He was there 6 months. And, I was, going through this whole thing where, where's my life going to go? What do I want? And I quit my job, and I moved out there. I had, $1,900. I thought it was hot shit. We go out there, and he rented an apartment with these two roommates. One white kid, Brian, I think his name was. He was 30 years old, still in San Diego State, And it was funny. I remember him telling me about this guy, Kawhi Leonard, who was in college there at the time. And he was this guy's going to be the man. He ends up being the man, Kawhi Leonard, yeah. I was like, what does this guy know? But Brian was straight up cokehead. A lot of these California kids are, but Brian's a straight cokehead. And there was this Muslim kid, don't remember his name at all, who would just have these other Muslim kids over, and then we just smoking pot, and he was like this little guy. And anyway, so me and Joe, we go into this apartment, we clean this room out, this one room and this other thing, and he goes to work. And it was either my second or third day there. Joey goes to work, I'm sitting there, Brian comes into the room, and he wakes me up, and it's 7:30 in the morning. And he goes, I'm not going to lie to you, I just did a little bit of coke. Let's go to the beach. Let's throw the football around. Let's have a day. And I'm thinking, I just got off the plane. I had In-N-Out Burger the night before. A little overrated. Disappointed. But I said, fuck it. Let me go with the experience. He packs up a cooler of beer, grabs a football. He's literally throwing it to random people in the street. They're catching it. He hands it off to a guy in a wheelchair. I was like, this is crazy.
Up, yeah.
He's he is zooted. Zooted. So... about 10:30, one of the guys we throw the ball to, his name is Monroe, this kid, right? Typical, looks like he played running back in high school. He's got that California body, good-looking kid. He's grabbing the football. He's playing with us. He comes underneath, some parking garage. We're chugging beers at 10:30 in the morning. I'm 23 years old. I'm like, this is heaven. I made it. Brian starts to crash from the coke, and he's like, bro, I got to go home, man. I was up all night. I said, it was also one of those days where I literally hopped out of bed. I went out in my pajamas, didn't shower, didn't worry about how I looked. This guy dragged me out of bed, and I just went out there. So I'm in shorts, flip-flops, and a fucking T-shirt. But now I'm stuck with this kid, Monroe. And my cousin Joe's working till 5. It's 10:30 in the morning. Brian left me. I don't know where I am. Also, backstory, I had a flip phone at the time. My iPhone shattered a couple days before I left. I was trying to ration my money, and I went out there with a flip phone, right? This comes into play later in the story. It's a long story, but... So, me and Monroe are hanging out. We're talking. He says he's from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's a realtor, and he's moving out to San Diego in 6 months. He's just coming here now to kind of check things out. And at the time, I was thinking about doing real estate. So I'm like, it's kind of weird. I'm meeting a kid doing real estate. Says he's moving out here in 6 months, whatever. We talked to some girls on the beach. We get some other drinks. We're having a good time. And he asked me if I ever seen the movie The Secret on Netflix, right? I said, no, I never seen it. What's that about? And it's basically about asking the universe for what you want, and it gives it to you. And he said that, more or less everybody kind of ends up exactly where they really want it to be in a way. You put things into existence and you get it. Manifesting things into existence. And he basically felt like we were meant to meet. Wow. Right? So I thought he wanted to fuck me. Maybe he did. I don't know. Whenever, just hand stuff. Nothing crazy. Okay. But anyway, I ended up hanging out with this kid all day. Right? He's actually a really nice guy. And we're from two complete opposite ends of the country. Probably completely different upbringings. He's from Lake Tahoe, not Las Vegas. Okay. So Lake Tahoe's got money. So cousin Joe gets out of work. We start drinking still. I've been drinking all day. It's 4:30 now. We're having like happy hour drinks or whatever. And then we go to some restaurant. Some whatever. It was like this big restaurant that they were talking about. And we go there. And again, I had been drinking all day. I'm still in my shorts and flip-flops at this nice restaurant. And this waitress comes over, and I don't even remember the waitress's name. But we start talking. And again, I'm going with that whole thing on like exactly where I'm supposed to be type thing. And I asked the waitress, what's her sign? I don't know why. Maybe I was on an astrology kick back then. And she goes, I'm an Aries. So I go, your birthday is in March 25th, is it? Which is my mother's birthday. And she like starts like shaking. She's like, that's so weird. You know, how did you know my birthday? Like she's creeped out. And I'm like, I thought it was a sign that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. When I look out on my back of my life, it was one of the best days I ever had because I wasn't worried about anything. I just went with it. And how many times in life do you really just go with it? I get this girl's number, but I pull out the flip phone. And she's like, what are you, a drug dealer? I'm like, no, it's just... But she ends up picking me up one night. She drives stick shift. She's listening to like... White girl. She's listening to like crazy rap music. I think her ex-boyfriend was black or something. From what she was saying. Not that any of it matters, but I'm just saying she just... was from San Francisco, and she had just moved here, too, and nothing ever happened with her, but we went on one date. She wasn't feeling me. So I end up, my San Diego story kind of ends. I'm there 9 days. I'm down to $500. Haven't really looked for work yet. I hate the apartment because of this kid, Brian. He keeps talking about, dude, you got $15? I said, why? He goes, we'll go to Tijuana, Mexico. Go fuck these girls. I'm like, anybody who would fuck anybody for $15 has AIDS, bro. You don't understand. These Mexican girls are crazy. I was like, I didn't even bring my passport. I'm not going to Mexico with you.
Oh, wow.
He's like, dude, it's a half an hour car ride, bro. What are you worried about? We'll come right back. So I pull out a 20. What do? Kill me? Yeah. God forbid this guy's got 100. They andale. Fucking everybody's getting chopped up. He's the kind of guy that would sell me for a hand job. So, Kawhi Leonard or not. So... Taco Tuesday is a big thing out there. Like, everybody parties on Tuesdays in Cali, right? Well, in San Diego, too, because it's very, like, it has, like, the Aztecian culture, Mexican culture. So we go out on a Tuesday, we have these tacos, and this place becomes a club, me and my cousin Joe, right? And it was the kind of night we had gotten so fucked up. I have a lot of drunken stories with Joe, but we had gotten so fucked up that we were throwing up, like, separately in bathrooms, right? And... the night's coming to an end, and Joey's drunk, and there's a McDonald's. And I'm like, Joe, I want this McDonald's, because once you start drinking, you got to feed the beast. Joey's like, one more bar, and runs across the street into a bar. My mind's made up. I need this McDonald's. Place is packed. Joey's like, I texted me, I ordered you a drink. Where are you? I said, I'm ordering Big Macs, Joe. Like, we're, you know. And he gets all mad at me. We get into a little argument over text, and I was like, fuck it, keep drinking. I'm going home. But again, I have a flip phone. I'm in another state. I don't know where I am. The flip phone comes into play because I can't look up GPS. I can't type in the address. And so I'm walking. Okay, it's a true story. I'm walking, and there's like, I guess it would have been like a bodega in New York. And there's, you know, a black guy sitting outside, and he's on his phone. And I go, listen, do you know this address? And he goes, I'm not from around here, man. And I look at this guy, and I am fucking wrecked. And I look at him, and I go, are you Jameis Winston? Jameis Winston, the quarterback at the time for Florida State. He would, a couple months after this, he would be the number 1 overall pick. The guy laughs. And I'm like, is that a yes or a no, Jameis? Like, but then even in my drunk state, I'm like, bro, I'm in San Diego. He played for Florida State. I'm just like being racist, I think, by assuming that, it's, any brolic black guy plays quarterback, you know? But I'm like, this guy fucking whatever. And again, I didn't have a camera to like take a picture. I go back to the house. Joey comes home. We have this drunken argument. He wakes me up in the middle of the night. I was such a bitch. The next day, I booked a flight. Connecting in San Francisco, which is ironic because the other girl's from San Francisco. New York had a snowstorm, so I had a layover in San Francisco. I fucking stayed in this hotel room, contemplated my life, came back, and just did all the same mistakes all over again. I'm watching ESPN a couple weeks later. Goes, a couple of quarterbacks are out in San Diego with the quarterback whisperer. was this guy's name. One of them being Jameis
No
Winston.
way. Wow.
So 1,000% had to be Jameis Winston. I don't know why I guess because I wasn't a chick, he didn't want to play it up. You know, he probably just thought like, if I was a girl, he'd be like, let's, my buddy, I'm staying.
You ever hear The Secret, James Winston? Yeah.
Jameis.
Exactly.
Been a bust anyway. But, so that was my San Diego story. And the other shitty part about this whole thing is me and my cousin Joe were going to do this cross-country trip back. And you can't, like, go back. Like, you can't be 30 now and do a cross-country trip. You know, back then with, like, little responsibility, still living at home kind of thing. Like, and then, so I always regretted that because Joe ended up coming home. We never did a cross-country trip. So, and it was a big blowout, and we didn't talk for a few months, you know, and I felt bad about that. Again, feeling like I was wrong, you know, and we both have different ideas. If Joey was ever on the show, he would yell at me, and he'd be like, you saw that night very differently than I saw it. Again, alcohol's a funny thing. But fast forward a few years later.
Yeah, San Diego keeps calling
So
you back.
San Diego's, for some reason, coming back in my life. I started working at this job at Lexus, and this woman, Nancy, my first day there, right, this older woman, she goes to me, she goes, you got a girlfriend? I was like, no, why? She goes, and I thought, like, oh, Nancy, trying to hit on me, Nance, like half your age? She goes, no, my niece is coming into town, and I think I think she'd like you. So I'm like, okay. She goes, she's coming a night out for drinks, meet us. I go meet her, and it was this girl, Lizzie. And Lizzie was a very pretty girl, very put together, but again, lived in San Diego. I live in New York. Oh, this is the thing. She just moved to San Diego from Connecticut. So I'm like, listen, I'll take your number and, you know, we'll talk. And maybe when you come visit, you know, you text me or whatever. We end up really clicking, FaceTiming all the time, this long distance thing. But I think because, truthfully, I always liked things that had an expiration date. Because I didn't feel like I had to commit to it long term. Like, this girl lives in San Diego. What the fuck is this going to do? You know? But we ended up liking each other a little bit. And, where was it? Oh, so I was going to go visit her. Again, I bailed. Took off the days for work, bailed. You know, she was all disappointed. And again, another typical one that was like, you know, I'm looking for, you know, a real guy. You know, you're obviously just playing. And then she invited me to her sister's wedding, and I bailed on that too.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm a shitty person. This is why I'm at where I'm at, dude. I mean, what the fuck? So, with her, we had a funny night, but it just funny in the sense of like awkward type thing.
What was that? We can cut it.
All right. So, she ends up coming in to fly in for her sister's wedding. So, she's going to be here for a week. I pick her up at the airport. It is 2:00 in the morning. Now, we had never been, we actually were alone together once because she had come in the summertime and we went back to her dad's house and like whatever. I didn't sleep with her or whatever, but it was just a nice time. Huh?
Was it the time you got the haircut?
Yeah. So now I'm supposed to pick her up from, I'll send you the picture, Mark. I'm supposed to pick her up from the airport that night. So I get a haircut. And the guy probably cuts it up to here. I have a picture of the world's worst fucking haircut. So now I'm fucking so nervous about this girl's gonna fucking see me with the world's worst. I go to another barber and the barber's like, what the fuck happened? I sent it to my friends. I sent it to Mark and he was like, what the fuck? So I'm like, oh God, this girl's gonna hate me. I end up getting like the highest fade of all time to make up for it. Right? Because my sideburns were gone. And the guy, when he cut my hair, too, he wasn't like, you know, I fucked up. He was like, how good does this look? I'm like, what a fucking piece of shit. No tip, bro. So, I pick her up from the airport at like 2 in the morning. And I was thinking about, I figured she had a long flight. She was going to be hungry. So, this only place that was open near my house was like just chicken fingers and french fries type thing. I pick it up. I give it to her. She like thought it was like the sweetest thing. But always the bridge, never the stairs.
Stop.
6 months later, she was in a serious relationship. So next time she came to visit, she didn't want to see me. And now she's engaged. So the point of the story, too, is, you know, I was thinking to myself when we were talking, like, maybe I'll move back to San Diego. Maybe I'll always get what I was supposed to get. Like, maybe I was supposed to be there. Why would San Diego, of all the places in the country, come back around? Yeah. And the worst feeling I had was 6 months later, after I originally left San Diego, I got a text message from a number I didn't have stored saying, "Tell me you're still in San Diego." And I said, "Who's this?" And it was Monroe. And he did want to fuck me. Nah, he says, I moved out here, man. I did it. Tell me you're still around. Tell me you're still here. I said, I left 8 days after I met you, Monroe. I'm back here doing the same shit I'm doing, but I wish you the best of luck. And he goes, did you watch The Secret at least? No, Monroe. Secret's out.